In the quiet town of Hyde, Greater Manchester, patients placed their trust in a man they believed to be a compassionate and dedicated family doctor. Dr. Harold Shipman, with his kind demeanor and calm presence, was seen as a pillar of the community. But behind the reassuring smile and professional manner lurked one of the most prolific serial killers in modern history. This is the chilling story of Dr. Harold Frederick Shipman, a man who used his medical license not to heal, but to kill. Born on January 14, 1946, in Nottingham, England, Harold Shipman grew up in a working-class family. He was particularly close to his mother, Vera, who instilled in him a sense of pride and discipline. When she was diagnosed with terminal lung cancer during his teenage years, Harold was devastated. He watched helplessly as his mother suffered, eventually passing away when he was just 17. This experience profoundly impacted Shipman.
He definitely suffered a huge trauma at the age of 17. He's been brought up by this mother who kept telling him, "You are special, you are very, very special." And she died of cancer back in the days before we had syringe drivers and easy treatments for cancer. She died at home.
Some speculate it was the moment that planted the seed for his future obsession with death. Witnessing the administration of morphine to ease his mother's pain may have given him the idea that one could play God, relieve suffering through a quiet, painless end.
And there were two highlights in her day. One was when Fred, as she called him, came home from school and sat with her and made her a cup of tea. And the other, which he witnessed, was when the doctor came round and gave her a shot of morphine.
After her death, Shipman pursued medicine, studying at Leeds School of Medicine. By 1970, he had graduated and begun practicing as a general practitioner. He married Primrose Oxtoby in 1966 and had 4 children. To the outside world, Shipman was a devoted family man and a respected member of society, but early signs of trouble began to surface. In 1975, Shipman began working at a practice in Todmorden, West Yorkshire. It was here that his colleagues first noticed erratic behavior. He was caught forging prescriptions for pethidine, a powerful opioid painkiller. Shipman claimed he was addicted to the drug and entered a rehabilitation program. Despite this serious offense, he was not struck off the medical register. Instead, he received a fine and a warning. After completing his rehab, Shipman returned to general practice, and in 1977, he began working at the Donnybrook Medical Center in Hyde. Over the next 2 decades, he cultivated a reputation as a diligent, trustworthy doctor, someone who made house calls, remembered patient names, and always had time for the elderly. But all the while, something far more sinister was happening behind closed doors. Shipman targeted mostly elderly women, grandmothers, widows, respected matriarchs of the community. He administered fatal doses of diamorphine, a powerful opioid, often under the pretense of providing pain relief. Most of his victims died in their own homes, often shortly after a visit from Shipman. He would then sign their death certificates, citing natural causes like heart failure or old age. Because he was a trusted doctor, few questioned the deaths. In fact, many families thanked him for his compassionate care. Some even invited him to funerals. But behind the scenes, he was manipulating medical records, backdating entries to make it appear that patients had long-term illnesses that justified their sudden deaths. Over time, funeral homes and colleagues began to notice an unusually high death rate among his patients. In one instance, a single practice he worked in had a death rate nearly 10 times higher than the national average. Shipman's downfall began in 1998 with the death of Kathleen Grundy, a well-respected 81-year-old former mayor of Hyde. Her daughter, Angela Woodruff, a solicitor, grew suspicious when she learned that her mother had allegedly left a will naming Dr. Shipman as the sole beneficiary of her estate. The will seemed out of character and poorly written, filled with errors her mother, a highly intelligent woman, would never have made.
And when the landlady of a local pub heard she died, she said, "Oh, what, was she knocked over?" Because nobody could believe she would have died of natural causes in any other way. She was a very fit, active member of the community.
Angela contacted the police and an investigation was launched. Kathleen Grundy's body was exhumed, and a post-mortem revealed lethal levels of diamorphine. Shipman was arrested shortly after. A deeper investigation revealed a horrifying scale of murder. Authorities began exhuming bodies and analyzing death records. They discovered that Shipman had killed at least 15 patients between 1995 and 1998. But that was only the tip of the iceberg. The real number was believed to be far higher. A public inquiry led by Judge Dame Janet Smith examined over 500 cases. The final report concluded that Shipman had likely murdered at least 215 people.
He was cleverer than the lawyer, he was cleverer than the system. He was in perfect control of what he was actually doing. And it wasn't until the police investigation went deeper and deeper and deeper into Dr. Harold Shipman, they suddenly drew up this possibility that this man hadn't just killed a few, he had killed, well, it looks like hundreds, probably up to 250. And people were saying, oh my God, this has been going on under our noses all these years.
His method was almost always the same: injecting a lethal dose of diamorphine, then certifying the death as natural. Because of the trust placed in him, no one had questioned the alarming frequency of deaths under his care. Shipman was charged with 15 counts of murder and 1 count of forgery. His trial began in October 1999. Prosecutors presented overwhelming evidence, including altered medical records, witness testimony, and forensic data. One chilling detail was how meticulously he documented each murder, often updating patient records just minutes after their deaths. In January 2000, Harold Shipman was found guilty on all counts and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. He remained emotionless as the verdict was read, showing no remorse or acknowledgement of the devastation he had caused. The case shocked the UK and the world. How could a trusted doctor kill so many without detection? The scandal led to major changes in British medical practice and laws. Death certification procedures were overhauled. The way doctors are monitored and investigated changed drastically. The General Medical Council came under intense scrutiny for its failure to act on earlier warning signs. Harold Shipman was found dead in his prison cell on January 13, 2004, one day before his 58th birthday. His suicide brought mixed reactions. Some saw it as an escape from justice, while others saw it as closure.
If you can stay in the community, receive your treatment in the community, with your family around you, your usual friends, then this all adds to the speed of recovery from the illness. You must stand where it's convenient for you. I've been advised to stand and let you take a photograph and then go away. And I'm sure you've had enough time to take a decent photograph.
Is it possible for you just to say anything at all?
Back into surgery to do my surgery.
But you have said you have nothing to hide, sir.
To this day, Harold Shipman's motives remain unclear. Some believe he was playing God, choosing when and how his patients would die. Others think he saw himself as a mercy killer, but the fact that many of his victims were not terminally ill challenges that theory. Psychologists and criminologists have speculated about narcissistic personality disorder or a deep-seated need for control. But Shipman never confessed, never explained himself. He died with his secrets intact. The tragedy of his actions is not just in the number of lives lost, but in the betrayal of trust. He turned the sacred role of healer into something terrifying. For many, the name Harold Shipman is synonymous with evil hidden in plain sight. Dr. Harold Shipman's case serves as a haunting reminder. Not all monsters hide in the shadows. Some wear white coats and carry stethoscopes. They shake your hand, look you in the eye, and tell you everything will be fine. The legacy of Shipman is one of caution, vigilance, and the painful lesson that even the most trusted among us are capable of unspeakable acts. His story continues to echo through the halls of medicine, reminding us that trust must always be accompanied by accountability. This was the story of Britain's most notorious serial killer. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more real-life stories and dark mysteries.